But it's this divide and this bickering and this arguing that's driving us the furthest apart. And the communists got it right. The communists got it right with one thing. Whatever the fuck Stalin said, it went. And I mean, it was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, somebody got to get in there. They got to put their foot down and stop this divide and this arguing. They're gonna say, hey, it's no more left and it's no more right. It's no more left or right issues. There are only issues. Simple as that.
Yeah,
disembowel the left and the right, and the problems in there. I mean, simple as that.
I hear what you're saying. Hold on, I hear what you're saying. But every single example of communism that's ever hit this planet has been a colossal failure. Like every single one.
It's not. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example that you should know. I mean, what was Hitler's Germany modeled after?
National socialism. Hold on, give me 1 second. My wife's calling me.
National socialism, but no. When you look at the aspects of I mean, he had a little bit of capitalism, socialism. He had a little bit of fascism. I mean, he incorporated they hated him. They hated this guy. And I mean, if you really study the moves he made, he took Germany from the ruins. I mean, oh my God, when they signed the worst deal in the history of deals. I mean, nobody could have signed a deal worse than what Germany got. And it drove inflation through the roof to the point where, I mean, oh my God, the Jews had to come in and take over and destroy Germany. They totally destroyed Germany. Can you hear me, Bennington?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
They didn't cut me off. They cut me off.
No, you're fine.
Okay, but no, follow me. Just follow me for a second. When people hear Hitler's name, they run. They run. He was a monster. He was one of the worst and egregious creatures on earth. We can agree with that. But we can also agree that there are aspects of Germany that flourish like no other. Germany never seen a rise to power so captivating. And I'm not giving credit to Hitler. I'm not giving credit to Hitler. I'm not giving credit to Hitler. Don't do that. We're not going to do that. But
I'll do whatever I want. This is my show. So I interject when I feel like it. That has to be understood. First and foremost.
I was listening.
No,
yeah, so just like
I'm listening.
What? When I speak, I speak. That just has to be understood. I mean, you know what I mean? So I don't mind hearing everybody's opinions. And I was definitely hearing what you're saying. I was just right outside the door. The only point I'm making is like there could be aspects of something that works, but ultimately that doesn't mean like you should in any way like give credit to the whole movement as a whole. Movements like Nazism, or which is just National Socialism.
What is communism? What is communism? What is communism? Okay, tell me what communism is, or your interpretation of what communism is.
It's not my interpretation. I'll give you the definition. Communism, which is basically just socialism, is when a nation owns the assets, the means of the production and the distribution of all of a nation's assets, which means nobody owns anything but the government. The government owns everything and decides where it goes and who gets it, and who deserves what and who needs what. That's what it is. There is no
right.
There is no free market. There is no like trade. Market. There's no anything. It's
so like, tell me, if implicated right, how could this grandiose plan? Marx. If Marx was around, if Karl Marx was around. Let me finish. I know it's just. Let me finish. If Karl Marx, you finish every time you. If Karl Marx was around, I mean, it has to be done genuinely. I mean, think about this plan. There'll be no poor. There'll be no way. I mean, in America, I mean, they worked for it, they earned it. I love Jeff Bezos, I love Elon Musk. But the top 8% own damn near 90% of the wealth in America. I mean, it shouldn't be this way. And why should you have enough money that you would never be able to spend in 2 or 3 lifetimes? Elon Musk could have spent $20,000 from the time the pyramids was built to now, and it wouldn't even be 2% of his wealth. He earned it. I mean, I love America. I love what we're doing here. But there's no way in the world that this man should have all this money, and he's a genuine guy. And there are people starving on the streets. There are people strung out on drugs. There are people who don't have homes to go to. There are single mothers who wait in the line for and wait in this housing line for 9 months. Let me get it out, please. This is the last thing. And wait in this housing line for 9 months. And you can't tell me that when you study communism and you study this distribution of wealth among the wealthy, and you're just not saying the government doesn't just own it. There is property. They distribute the property based on the needs of society, right? We just haven't had a great, I mean, come on, man, look at the examples that we had. I gave you the best one we had. When you know Hitler is the best example of and I'm not saying Hitler is communism. I mean, he had a mix of all four, and that's a model we should be willing to accept. We hate communism. We shouldn't hate anything. I mean, the Brits hated us. Every war that's been fought after the Civil War has been done with hate. I mean, we got to stop that. We got to stop looking at.
Hey, so like, I feel where you're coming from. This isn't the first time I've had this conversation, by the way. I've had this conversation with a lot of people. There's just some questions.
The intellectual like this, I study this stuff literally.
But no, I just want to ask you a couple of questions. Like, so just based off what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
I don't even know if I really want to go into this because this could take all.
Now, let's go into it, because I didn't say communism was obviously every time it's been implemented, it's been a major failure. But I mean, we've never had a George Washington implement communism. We've never had Thomas Jefferson implement. We've never had James Madison. I mean, we are talking about really genuine guys, really genuine who crafted a constitution. I mean, that was perfect. That was damn near. That was damn near Jesus Christ.
I get where you're coming from, but there's just a few things. Okay. The reason why I'm confident in saying the reason why we never had this benevolent communist figure you're talking about is because communism as an ideology holds absolutely no security or safeguards to stop someone from becoming a dictator. There's nothing that can stop them because they have all of the power. So like at that point, that's just like depending on the kindness of a monster. Say, hey, you have all the power in the world and I trust you to use it responsibly. I would never, ever trust anybody in the world with anything like that. I don't know nobody good enough for that. I know I'm not. So I'm not about to say anybody else is. I don't know anybody good enough for that. But also, no, I honestly, God,
what you do? You trust the FDA that regulates your food. You trust the aerodynamics company that regulates the planes that you ride on. You trust?
No, I don't.
Are you on an encrypted device right now? You trust the government.
No,
my point exactly. My point proven. I mean, you have enough trust to give what you want to trust.
Well, right? that doesn't necessarily prove your point because first off, you're assuming a lot of things about me.
It does because
you hold on. You have to let me talk on my show, man. Like
what's going on?
Right.
Like all right. So what I'm saying is, I don't trust anybody that much with anything. I'm not left or right or anything. I'm actually very anti. If it was my perfect world, there would be no government. There'll be no anything. It'll be dog eat dog, winner takes all. Take whatever the fuck you want. But I don't.
I'm anti that. But yes.
Yeah. But I don't espouse my world.
I mean, he be Genghis Khan. He basically be Genghis Khan. I mean, you say, oh, I don't know you, but I know you. I study people.
Genghis Khan's one of my heroes. Genghis Khan's one of my heroes. So if I could just put it down to a simple,
I think Genghis Khan is really worse than Hitler. I mean, that statement right there. I mean, geez.
Sure. But everybody could get it with Genghis Khan. Hitler targeted.
I mean, Genghis Khan was a great man.
No. Genghis Khan lived in a more natural world. The world Genghis Khan lived in. So here's the one thing I realized and understand about the world. The way I would want the world to be would never fucking exist because we already live in a world with societies and government. Genghis Khan lived in a more natural world where it was just the law of the land and whoever had the biggest stick was in charge. We're never going to go back to that. But in that day and age, nobody was good, nobody was evil, nobody was bad, nobody was righteous. It was just, bro, kill or be killed and survive. The point I'm making is in today's day and age, the system that I live under here in America is the only system I don't have to participate in if I don't want to. You don't have to participate in the system. You can if you want to, you can literally go homeless, or you could go out in the woods and live in the commune and grow your own food. You don't have to do anything. But if you do participate in the system, then you have to pay into it. That's what our taxes are. That's fine. But even with that being stated, nobody can come into my house and tell me I have too many bottles of water or too many pillows on my bed because I can buy all the capital I want as long as I have the resources for it. That's capitalism. Nobody's in charge of what I can or can't get, but nobody's also in charge of what I do and don't make. So it's a very sink or swim system, and I prefer it that way as opposed to somebody telling me what I have to do all the time. And if you don't do what they tell you, you get pulled out to the back of the woods and shot in the head and buried. That's all that communism leads to, bro. Because the person just has too much fucking power. Like that's what it has led to every single time. And let me ask you, do you know the fundamental difference between the capitalistic society and the communistic society? Do you know the one fundamental difference? There's only really one difference. You want to know what it is? Okay, I'll just tell you. In a capitalist society, let's say you, Professor MC, you go out there, and I'm gonna be hyperbolic. I'm gonna exaggerate to make the point, but let's say you go and you hunt 100 deer, right? You go out there with your rifle, you got your bullets, you kill 100 deer, boom, 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 and you carry all that deer back to your village, right? We're like in the old days. You go kill all that deer, you got all that deer back to your village. You can do a variety of things with that. One, you could keep it all for yourself because you hunted it, it's your deer. Or you could sell it for profit. You hunted it, it's your deer. You can give it away for charity. You hunted it, it's your deer. In a communist society, you go and hunt that deer, and all the value of your labor is then given to the government, and the government decides what happens to that deer. To me, that system is fundamentally evil. Fundamentally. Because you have no freedom.
You know what that system sounds like?
You're exaggerating the control at Bennington. I do want to hear your opinion on it. I want to hear your opinion on it, Bennington.
You know what that shit sound like to me? And so you and I were both in this system. You know what that sound like to me? That sounds like the military.
What?
Yeah.
Because in the military we had
military is very socialistic. It is. It's very socialistic.
No, but here's the thing. That was a means of our survival.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had to rely upon.
We had
to make sure.
You're a Christian religious man
in the military. Made me very against the system.
Who say again?
Not necessarily religious. I was raised religious. Right now, I don't really know where I'm at. But I'm not. It's not that I don't believe. I just know I don't follow the rules of religion, so I don't claim
it. Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not atheist or agnostic. I just don't claim. I was raised as a Christian. I just don't claim.
Right, because I don't live the way a Christian's supposed to live. I know I don't. You know, like I know I don't live the way a Christian's supposed to live. So right, and maybe one day I'll get closer to faith or something. Maybe I never will, or who knows? I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me ask a broader question. Do you believe there's a God in the sky that created us, that controls good and evil, and pulls the strings like a puppet of the world? Simple as that.
I don't believe in good and evil as concepts, but as opposed to a higher power that created everything, I'm not against the idea. I kind of do believe there is a higher power that created everything, but that's based off my knowledge and understanding of science and of where it is right now, where energy and matter can't be created or destroyed.
You have a degree? You a scientist? You a scientist?
I'm not a scientist.
You're not even a scientist. You got your degree in?
No. I'm not a scientist. I'm just saying my knowledge of, and just from the information I consume, because I love to learn. I love chemistry. I love physics. I love astrophysics. So, but just my understanding is that energy and matter can't be created or destroyed. They only be transformed. But we live in a world made out of energy and matter, which can't be created. So my thought process goes, it has to come from somewhere. So I'm not against the idea of a higher power.
Oh, I've never been against the world. The universe works too well in order for it to be random.
So all things that can go wrong will go wrong. Actually, I mean, there's over 1 million stars that are going through a supernova right now. In about 100,000 years' time, the Andromeda Galaxy it'll damn near be about maybe let's say 1 million years from colliding with our Milky Way galaxy. So all things that can go wrong will go wrong. And if you see a God in that, our sun becoming a red hot giant, engulfing the whole Milky Way. And I mean, if you see a God in that, that's beautiful. But I'm going to get back to my question. I asked you that because do you think that should a man put aside his pride for the greater good of his village, of the nation? Okay, you got a village where 50 people are productive, but you have 50 people who are strung out on drugs. I mean, who just in the streets or who don't have nothing. Should those people succumb to that? Just because a man went and hunted 100 deer and he wanted to take all of the labor, he should. He hunted the deer, he should. But should he? When this can be distributed, and it's done right, and this can be distributed and everyone can eat, Everyone can eat. I mean, you can eat for a multitude of days with 100 deer, but you can also take 20 of those deer. And that's basically what communism does. You're really exaggerating communism. They come and they are based on the needs of society, not based on the needs of one fucking selfish man who has $300 billion, who won't even give a dollar to a fucking homeless woman on the street.
Right. So
who's strung out on crack, who doesn't, who isn't an intellectual. We are intellectuals. We can have these conversations, but some people can't even. I mean, right. And we owe it to them.
I'll answer your question.
You get honestly. What I'm
saying? No. I'll answer your question honestly. Should that man
honestly answer it? Don't
no.
Honestly answer it.
Honestly. Should that man help people less fortunate than him? Right? You say he got 100 there. He can give away 20 of them and still have 80, and everybody else can eat. Right? Should he do that? My answer to that is if he feels like it. I don't believe in ever forcing anybody to ever do anything. I think if you want to be selfish, be selfish. I think if you want to be charitable, be charitable. I don't believe in the concept of
explain it to me, please.
I don't believe in concepts, or not that I don't believe. I know they exist. I don't preach or participate or practice in concepts like the greater good, because I don't put myself in a position to be able to make that decision for anybody but myself. Like my friends and family might trust me to make some decisions. I'll do that for them, but I don't think I'm in a position to make a decision for the whole world as a whole. And also, I'm fundamentally against forcing people to do things they don't want to do. If I don't want to help you, I don't have to. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, then we should. Okay, then now we have to look at this this difference between good and evil. You say it's a concept, it's just a concept, but it's not. From the dawn of time. I mean, damn near back when Lucy was on that peninsula and we just hopped off that tree about 1.5 million years ago, there have been these concepts known as good and evil. Okay, why does this happen? Because it is. Yeah. Why does this happen? Because it is. So you have to examine it. Why would a man want to be a selfish? And if he is a selfish man, that's indicative of his character. A selfish man will be a hateful man. A hateful man will be a killer. A killer will be a tyrant. And you know where that goes. And you know exactly what. I mean, it's not an argument. It's not an argument. You can look at history.
I will make I will form the position that perhaps that is a good thing. Because here's the thing, right? If you force someone to be good, you can't know if they're ever good. Yeah. So if I'm forcing you to be charitable, I don't know if that's who you truly are. Hold on.
Communism isn't forcing you. That's like us saying that the Constitution is forcing us to have free speech. No, this is the way that this is the way that that a government is established. So basically, we can look at it like this. Thomas Jefferson and Hancock and all these guys who were present during the time, they were dictators, right? Because they wrote up this Constitution for America, and they said, this is how it's gonna be. You don't have no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, you tried to succeed. You guys in the South tried to succeed.
Man, it's Professor Anthony. After this, you got Instagram or something, man?
Yeah, I'm very avid on. I do these type of things. I'm glad.
And on this chat right here on your phone, there should be a private chat. If you could put your tag in there, I'll take it. I'll follow you. I'll DM you because because on the SOULcast we do a lot of topics. We topic hop, right? And we've been on this one for like over an hour. But I'm loving this debate. I want to invite you back and have the discussion. You know what I mean? Like, I want to invite you back later and we could do this one-on-one. We get to have the discussion because I know I could tell you have a lot you want to say. And I can tell you're passionate about what you're saying.